So our first guest, and I'm very excited to introduce him, it's Robert Jones. Robert is the CEO and founder of Roots Food Group and Feeding the Blind. And we're going to be collaborating with Robert and his teams in 2022. And the stuff that they're working on is truly a game changer. And we're excited. We're excited that he's able to join us today. I'm excited that he's able to share a little bit of his information. And once again, thank you everyone for joining us. All right, Robert, you're on.
Thank you, sir. Happy to be here, and thank you for having us, Roots Food Group, as well as myself. We have some great opportunities by way of some mutual relationships with Accessible Pharmacy and Be My Eyes, the technology. Reese, go handle that. And we're really excited to be here today. My background is food and farming, and food is medicine really came to the forefront of kind of where I was trying to put my focus in the food space. We previously held a license with the American Diabetes Association, and food is medicine just really had a keen place in my heart, as well as, you know, how we could really change things for the better in what people are eating today. So in 2019, we set forth kind of on a mission and a mission-driven company to change how people are approaching food and medically tailored meals at large within the healthcare systems. There's been certain legislation that's been come into effect back in December 2018 as part of the Farm Bill. They allocated a certain amount of money for produce prescriptions. In the middle of the pandemic, in a bipartisan co-authored and co-sponsored bill in the House of Representatives, HR 6774, which makes medically tailored meals reimbursable through Medicare and Medicaid on a federal basis. And recently, just in September of this year, California enacted their Food is Medicine program for the Medicaid population within California, which is now starting to cover 21 meals a week for a multitude of chronic diseases. And at the end of the day, the doctors are now writing prescriptions for food. We call ourselves a pharmaceutical company in the form of broccoli. If you're diagnosed or have ongoing chronic disease issues in certain programs, and in the state of California, you can be prescribed food is medicine, which is kind of how we got here, of what the bad things that we were consuming, and being able to shift into healthy, better for you food. So when we were first introduced to the company Be My Eyes, and I see that Will's on, and I'm sure several others, we had a perfect aligned mission between what we're trying to do and how we can help and service the communities of low vision and blind by providing medically tailored meals that are delivered to the home. So it removes some of the obstacles that people have in these communities with their inability to drive, shop, read the nutritional label, or read the code date on the milk in the refrigerator, that our food is ready to eat. So it's just a heat and serve option, and they're designed specifically for type 2 diabetes as well as other chronic diseases. We are really excited about the opportunity at large, and to be here today and be able to help with this conference. And we have two foundations that we run on top of our for-profit. So Roots Food Foundation is our private foundation. For every 10 meals that we sell for profit, we donate meals into underserved communities and food banks and soup kitchens. And we recently started Feeding the Blind, with a program centered around vision nutrition, where the donations from third parties, corporations, and individuals will go to help subsidize or fully pay for meals for low vision and blind communities. We just launched that about 2 weeks ago, and really excited to kick off 2022 and our fundraising campaigns and our ability to really impact the lives of these communities. We currently started shipping directly through healthcare organizations. And in Q2 of 2022, we will be launching our direct to the consumer site, where people can order directly from the site and have those delivered to the home. And we're pushing that out in all 50 states. And we have a multitude of other health plans that we're launching with. In Q2, we're launching with United Healthcare and several other large healthcare organizations. There's hospital systems that are getting involved in the movement of food as medicine. There was just another bill that was drafted 2 weeks ago that makes all hospital systems as a requirement to distribute medically tailored meals as a part of Medicare and Medicaid, and that's in addition to the other bill, HR 6774. So there's a real movement around making nutrition a larger part of the continuum of care within hospitals and healthcare organizations, insurance companies, Medicare and Medicaid. So it's a real shift, I believe, and thus the name of our company, going back to the roots of how food really impacts one's health. We're at a very critical tipping point. A third of the federal government budget is healthcare spend, and 90 cents or 90% of healthcare at large and the dollars thereof go to fight chronic disease. So out of the $4.1 trillion a year in annual healthcare spend, 3.6 trillion goes to fight some portion of chronic disease. It's at a real tipping point, and with the large advancements in pharmaceuticals, technology, healthcare, medicine, hospitals, you know, the uptick in chronic disease is not an uptick. The curve just keeps going steeper and steeper, and is really getting into the younger age brackets because of what we're feeding ourselves and our children and our families. By 2030, 50%, it's forecasted that 50% of the US population will be considered obese. Last year, the number of states doubled for 35% of a baseline for a percent of population of obesity doubled in the last 12 months. So we're really still going in the wrong direction relative to food and nutrition, and really happy to be at the forefront of it with groups like Accessible Pharmacy, Be My Eyes, and the communities thereof, and how we can really make a difference through food and nutrition.